Hi guys, this is Miss Britt, and I thought I would read you guys a fun story today. Today I'm going to be reading Muncha, 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 okay, by Candace Fleming. Since it's springtime, doesn't feel it today by all the snow, but it's coming, I promise. For years, Mr. McGreely dreamed of planting a garden. He dreamed of getting his hands dirty, of growing yummy vegetables, and of gobbling them all up. But he never once tried it until, "This spring," said Mr. McGreely. "This spring, by golly, I'm going to plant my garden." So he hoed and he sowed and he watched his garden grow. "Lettuce, carrots, peas, tomatoes, yum, yum, yummy," said Mr. McGreely. "I'll soon fill my tummy with crisp, fresh veggies." But one night, when the sun went down and the moon came up, 3 hungry bunnies appeared. Tippy, 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 pat. Muncha, muncha, muncha. Uh-oh. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his gnawed sprouts, he was angry. So he built a small wire fence all around his vegetable garden. "There," he declared, "no bunny can get into my garden now." And the sun went down, and the moon came up, and tippy, tippy, pat. Spring, hurdle, dash, dash, dash. Muncha, muncha, muncha. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his nibbled leaves and gnawed sprouts, he was really angry. So he built a tall wooden wall behind the small wire fence around his vegetable garden. "Humph," he huffed. "Those floppy ears will never get over it. No bunny can get into my garden now." And the sun went down, and the moon came up, and tippy, 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 pat. Dig, scrabble, scratch, scratch, scratch. Spring, hurdle, dash, dash, dash. Muncha, muncha, muncha. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his chewed stems, his nibbled leaves, and his gnawed sprouts, he was really, really angry. So he made a deep, wet trench outside the tall wooden wall, behind the small wire fence, all around his vegetable garden. "Ha!" he snorted. "Those pufftails can't get under it. They can't get over it. No bunny can get into my garden now." And the sun went down, and the moon came up, and tippy, 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 pat. Dive, paddle, splash, splash, splash. Dig, scrabble, scratch, scratch, scratch. Spring, hurdle, dash, dash, dash. Muncha, muncha, muncha. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his chomped blossoms, his chewed stems, his nibbled leaves, and his gnawed sprouts, he was furious. So he hammered and blocked, sawed and stalked, drilled and filed, and tapped and blocked. He built a huge, enormous thing before the deep, wet trench, outside the tall wooden wall, behind the small wire fence, all around his vegetable garden. "I've outsmarted those twitch whiskers for sure," he exclaimed. "They can't get through it, they can't get under it, and they can't get over it. No bunny, no way, no how, can get into my vegetable garden now." The sun went down, and the moon came up, and tippy, tippy, stop. The 3 hungry bunnies looked and smelled and touched the huge, enormous thing before them. And tippy, tippy, pat. the bunnies hopped away. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his untouched vegetables, he was happy.
I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole.
I beat the bunnies, he whooped and did a jiggly wiggly victory dance. Then he climbed over, jumped across, squeezed between, and crawled under until he reached his vegetable garden. Ah, sighed Mr. McGreely, at last, smacking his lips. He picked and pulled up lettuce, carrots, peas, tomatoes, and with his basket overflowing, he reached inside for something yummy. What do you think he reached for? Muncha, muncha, muncha. Uh-oh. The end. So I hope you guys enjoyed the story with me. In your packets, you will find that we have a really fun craft to go along with this story. So you will find a paper plate, some big ears to cut out, the inside of the ears to cut out, a pom-pom for the nose, pipe cleaners for the whiskers, and some googly eyes to put on your bunny. So you're going to start with your plate. Okay, set that down. You are going to cut out the ears, both sets. Once those are all cut out, they're going to look like this. And you are going to glue the colored part inside the white part so that it looks just like this. Then you will have two of them, two ears, just like that. You are going to take them and glue them to the top of your paper plate, one on each side. This one already has the Google eyes on it. Next, you will glue on your 3 pipe cleaners, a little bit of glue in the middle, stick those on, and then the finished product will look something like this. Now, everyone has different colors. We sent home all kinds of different colors, so we're really excited to see the bunnies that you guys come up with, and we would love to see pictures and see how they come out. If you have any questions, just let us know. Thanks, guys.